Welcome back to another episode of Who's On First. I'm your host, Dwayne.
I'm Jason.
And I'm your boy, Shy Player.
And before we start, please like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Who's On First. The numbers are doing great. We're going up in subscribers, and we thank you guys very much for that. Also, please do us a big favor and go on iTunes, leave a 5-star review. It'll help us out a bunch. Follow us on Spotify, all DSPs. We are there. Just type in Who's On First and we'll pop up. But let's get to it. My season's over. Screw you guys and screw everybody. I'm depressed, but we'll get through it. Game 6 was Game 6, and honestly, I wasn't expecting the outcome that happened, but Walker Buehler did what he could in that game. He was able to at least give us 4 innings, and honestly, I would say besides the one bad at bat to Rosario, he pitched well, barring the circumstances. For people who don't know, now Max Scherzer was lined up to pitch Game 6, but he stated that he had some arm fatigue before on the off days, and he wasn't going to be able to actually pitch that game. He said that he was possibly able to pitch Game 7, but he kind of put the Dodgers in the bind, and Walker Buehler stepped up and said, "Hey, I'll take control. I think I can get us to at least Game 7." The outcome was the outcome. Eddie Rosario, that whole pitch sequence will live in my mind probably until the next season, because that was terrible pitch sequencing for someone who was on fire the entire season. The entire series, and it seemed like they just were continuously trying to pound him in, but he was pulling everything in. They threw like 4 cutters in the same location, and the 4th one, the result was the result. I didn't think it would get any worse, but then in the 7th, the Dodgers, Luke Jackson, he is the one savior that the Dodgers had on the Braves, because every time he came in, a meltdown was coming. But this time he gave up a double to A.J. Pollock that scored, I believe it was Chris Taylor, so it was 2-4, and the Dodgers had second and third with nobody out, and they brought in Tyler Matzik, and Tyler Matzik proceeded to strike out Pujols, Souza Jr., and Mookie Betts in the most dominating performance I think I've ever seen from a reliever in a runners on situation or runners in scoring position situation. And from there, it was pretty much over. The Braves, did what they did. They closed it out, and we are no longer the defending champs. There will be someone different unless I don't know, the whole World Series gets shut down, and I can still say, ha, we're still the champs. But other than that, what'd you guys think?
You guys are definitely still the Mickey Mouse champs, but
we will get to that.
but it comes down to this: the Dodgers could not hit left-handed hitting or left-handed pitching.
Right.
And basically they were fatigued. They're out of breath, like Albert Pujols. They've been playing the playoffs since early August,
right.
And it's all on management. They couldn't, they definitely should have got their foot off the gas, slowed it down, rested their players, and they would have been in a better position at this point.
Yeah, I feel like they were outmanaged. I just feel like the Dodgers go in every game with the same game plan, and like you said before, how Freeman is very involved with a lot of it,
right.
And I feel like the Braves had counter moves for all the moves that they had, and I don't feel like the Dodgers were able to counter on their moves. I felt like their plan was just the one plan, like we're going to just go up and score a bunch of runs and have 47 different people pitch. So I feel like they were outplayed in all aspects.
Yeah, just on paper, that Dodger team is better than that Braves team, but I think that's the one thing about having Andrew Friedman so close to the managerial decisions. I'm not saying that he makes them, but I do know that they do go over a game plan before every game. And I know that I feel like when it comes to their game plan, they look at just the numbers, they look at the analytics, they look at the players, and they say, okay, there's no way that this team should be able to beat this team if we just do simple things. But the Dodgers couldn't do them. And that's another issue with analytics, because they won't tell you that, hey, maybe this guy won't hit in this series because he's struggling, and that's just it. Nothing's going to turn it around. Nothing magical is going to happen. He's not going to figure it out tomorrow, as you saw with Trey Turner. Trey Turner, I think, besides Game 5, he did basically nothing that whole series. And he was a liability at points. I was screaming on Twitter, why is he still hitting third? Why is he still hitting third? And they kept running him out there thinking, he'll be better the next game. He'll be better the next game. And he never was. And that went through the whole lineup, in my opinion. But we're here now. And Shai, you can get on with the topic you want to get to.
Yes. So basically the results of this year's playoffs for the Dodgers, do you think that it confirms that last year was a Mickey Mouse championship?
Hell no. Tired of this. Tired of y'all. Tired of all this Mickey Mouse. All right. First of all, don't use something that one of our players kind of coined, which was Bauer. All right. Don't use that against us. That's whack. Second of all, I don't think it's a Mickey Mouse title because everyone had the same chances that we did, and we just came out on top. Everyone shared the same emotion. Everyone had the same bit of intensity when it came to the playoffs. I didn't see anyone say like, "Hey, it doesn't matter. It's 60 games." We can talk about that 2020 team, in my opinion, was going to the World Series. Regardless of whatever happened, if we paid a full 162, if we didn't, that team was stacked. It was loaded. And then I don't know. I don't even remember if we had a trade deadline that year, but from just that roster alone, to me, that team was destined to do what it did. And then at the end of the day, I look at people when they bring that point up, or they try to bring that little, it doesn't matter. I go back to Game 4. Game 4 was the Brett Phillips play where all hell breaks loose and the Dodgers lose. That place was going insane, and to me, you can't say something doesn't matter, but then you see that emotion on the field. And you try to just be like, no one cares. Like this championship doesn't. No one considers it an actual championship. You guys just won a tournament.
Basically. Let me give you my reasons why I think it was a Mickey Mouse championship. The first one being that there's 30 teams in the MLB. They only played 9 teams to get to the World Series last year. The World Series. The second reason is why is it that Kershaw's best playoff run of his whole entire career was the one where there were no fans in the stands, right? And I think that goes for a lot of the players on the Dodgers.
Oh, there were fans there. There were fans there.
In the NLC,
you had to pay for your cardboard cutout to be there.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about those.
Those were expensive. I had 3.
They were expensive. The Angels were going to do it, and they ended up not doing it, and I was very disappointed. All right, so and then here's my third one, and I'll let you guys, piggyback.
It was a low turnout. You're like, no one's buying it. I don't get it.
So the third reason is this year, if it was a 60-game series, the Braves after 60 games would have been 29-31, and they wouldn't have made the playoffs and got the opportunity to eliminate the Dodgers, right? So that's kind of the prime example that it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? And my last thing is I brought this up off air with Dwayne that they had some rating issues last year, so the world wasn't paying attention. And I'll go ahead and let you guys take over and give me your thoughts about that.
On the last thing you said with the ratings, all sports were down across the board, so I throw that out. It's whatever to me. And also we're all baseball fans. How many people say out there that no one watches baseball? So I don't care about ratings when it comes to that. But the first thing you said with the whole we only played 9 teams to get to the World Series. See, now I can use that for the actual divisions as well, because there's a bunch of weak divisions in baseball, and you're playing your division the majority of the time. Obviously, you go out and you play other divisions, but it's like besides for the Astros, they have to play you guys how many times? 16, 17 times?
Yeah.
Right? And not saying you guys are terrible, but previous seasons, I mean, you guys weren't that good. Freaking Texas stinks. And so on and so forth. You can pinpoint certain teams in every division that, this is an easy road for a lot of teams, right? I think the toughest division in baseball is the NL West, but after that, probably going into next year, honestly, it might be a fight between the AL East. The AL East is stacked at this point, right? So besides those two divisions, in my opinion, every other division is kind of just a crapshoot. It's just like whoever gets off to a good start is probably going to hold off their the rest of their division mates, and then it is what it is. So I don't like that argument. Everything else around it, yes, Kershaw having his best postseason. It's kind of so the first half of Kershaw's postseason career was tough luck because he was their best pitcher. They ran him out there every time they needed something in situations that were no-win situations. Like Kershaw on 3 days rest against the Cardinals, Kershaw having to just hold down the pitching staff because the Dodgers were down. Though that's why his numbers look the way they look in the playoffs, but I will not say that having less fans probably didn't do him a little better because I feel like a lot of the Dodger players, including Clayton Kershaw, I feel like they have this mentality where when the lights shine brightest, they want to be heroes. Like they want to have that moment of like, I want to do everything myself. I want to be able to just take over the game. And Clayton Kershaw is one of those people because I've seen it his entire career. The guy used to, anytime there was an important at bat, important moment, instead of like actually pitching, he would just throw his fastball harder. And it's like, no, that's not gonna work. Like especially if they're sitting on that pitch, right? So I look at that as maybe that definitely could have played a part in Clayton doing what he did. But also I look at, do you think with that with the point you brought up, do you think a team like the Rays would have even made it that far if there was
maybe not, because they definitely have a home field disadvantage,
right? So,
they got empty seats, so they're kind of used to it.
So they were like, "Oh, this is like what we do anyway.
This is like home."
So I honestly think it's just it was several different things that went into it, but to me, it's not a Mickey Mouse title. I feel like people shouldn't take it as one because if you guys think that the 2020 championship is not valid, then 2017. Like where does that put us? Now we're looking on social media and people are saying that, oh, even though the Astros cheated in 2017, that title is valid because everyone cheats in baseball, which is no, everyone doesn't have cameras pointed at catchers' groins and looking at pitches. Like, no, let's calm that down. But that's just my opinion. I'm a Dodger fan, obviously, so I'll be biased. But people, they want to feel how they feel about it, cool. But hey, banner's still in LA, baby. 2020. We got ours.
All right, we'll wait for Jason to return.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Jason if he can come back. But you want to keep going? You want to go to?
Do you want to go into Ohtani?
Yeah, you could intro that.
Yeah, so Ohtani, as an Angel fan, we don't want to see him go.
Right.
But if there ever comes a chance or a time where he wants to leave and he wants to flourish in another organization, what's one team you would like to see him on?
I mean, again, being biased, obviously the Dodgers, because they were a team that looked at him a lot during the initial process of him choosing to come to the States. Obviously, they did a lot of scouting. I believe Andrew Freeman was scouting him, I want to say in high school from like the reports I saw, but the Dodgers were linked on him for a while. And I think the only reason that they didn't get him was because there wasn't a DH at the time. Like I feel like he was very put off by having to possibly play the field and pitch, and I just didn't think he wanted to do it. And of course, I think he likes Southern California. I think he likes his culture that is very heavily influenced in Southern California. But I feel like it would be the Dodgers who would be the second. Like I think that's like the easiest choice for him.
Yeah. How about you, Jason? If there's one team outside of the Angels where you can see Ohtani play, what's one organization you would choose?
The one he came from back in Japan.
Take your ass
the only place I will see him play other than Anaheim. No, I feel like if he's going to be traded, he's going to be traded to, I said it before, somewhere like Philadelphia, somewhere where they have a lot of different interchangeable pieces, some prospects with some starters and some other pieces like that. I don't see him going to the Yankees. The Angels aren't going to trade him to anyone on the West Coast. They're gonna be very selective of who they trade to.
Okay.
Well, you're saying trade. Let's say he stays the final 2 years of his contract. Now, where do you see him if he hits free agency going?
It depends on how much money we're looking at.
500 million if he plays the way he played this year.
Uh, 500 million. Who has that cap, and who's willing to go over the luxury for him? You also got to remember he had so many suitors before. He chose Anaheim for a reason. I have a feeling he's going to stay here. And as from our last week's episode, after today, he's got that commissioner award that's only been given out 16 times total since baseball. I feel like
fake ass award.
No, but I feel like that
Mouse ass award.
it was only 60 games, man. He only played 60 games.
Otani, you're the best.
His division sucked.
Here's this commissioner award. No one ever gets it, but you can have it.
He only played 23 out of the 30 teams.
But no, I feel like if he's gonna go anywhere free agency, Boston, I would hate for him to go to. But you figure how many they had Dice K there.
Mm-hmm.
Dyson.
He died at Dice K. It was too much. He couldn't handle it anymore.
Fuck this.
You're back? Jason, are you back?
Is it good?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. No, so I feel like if he goes anywhere, he's going to go to Boston. I feel like the Dice K kind of like set the tone there for Asian players. I feel like that would be probably the best fit for him if he was going in free agency.
Yeah, so my opinion, this took a lot of self-reflection because I didn't want to see him on any team. And I knew, there's something that a player like this he deserves, and he deserves like a well-run organization, like a team with a future. And the fact that I think this is my biggest thing, he needs like a rivalry, like those type of players, those iconic players, they need to be involved in something like bigger than baseball itself, Right. And I would say the best team for him would be the Giants, so he can get involved in that rivalry with the Dodgers. Left-handed batter hitting freaking bombs into McCovey Cove. Like that's something that I think would, it would make baseball bigger than what it is. And, seeing like a big left-handed hitter, hitting bombs to left field would remind us of Barry Bonds and without the steroids. And I just think it'd be great for the game. So the Giants for sure.
Yeah, I was going to, if no one said it, I was going to bring up like, that might be like honestly the best fit, but that also depends on if the Giants want to go that far money-wise on one player. But honestly, I think he's tailor-made for that fan base. Obviously, they have a huge Asian fan base. He would be the face of that team just like moving forward. And honestly, besides, I think Crawford's a free agent this year. Posey is winding down. There is no real the Giants have no identity. There is no there's no marquee player. So he would definitely fit there, but they just have to want to spend the money to get him there. But I of course said the Dodgers, Jason. While
of course you always do. I didn't expect anything different. It's like we're gonna bring back Babe Ruth. We're gonna. No. Bring him back. We have DNA samples. Let's put him back in the Yankees. No, I feel like he's going to be on the Dodgers. I feel like the Dodgers will get him.
No, but the Dodgers have the longest history with him before him coming to the States, so that's why I just say that would mean something. But also, I do know that the only issue with that is during the whole courting process or whatever. After he chose the Angels, there were some players, I believe JT, Kershaw, who took kind of a offense to how, I guess,
they got salty.
Yeah, they got salty. So if they're still on the team at that point, I don't know. He might be like, nah, I'm cool, like, because y'all said what y'all said, once I chose another team. But who knows? Money talks, and they could end up being like, you know what? I'm going to definitely go with you guys. You guys are paying me the most. This the community obviously likes me. I've been here before, so
yeah.
But the Angels are going to pay up. They're going to have a good offseason. They're going to get a couple of starters, and then we'll go from there.
You guys better, man, because like a lot of the videos we're putting out, there's a lot of Angel fans who are in the comments and they're hoping and they're wishing and they're praying. And I'm like, you guys have two, like I said, two of the top 5 players in baseball. If y'all don't get no pitching, I just don't see. Because I read an article that said that if Scherzer wasn't going to stay with the Dodgers, or if they don't sign him, the next logical place is Anaheim. And honestly, I would say don't do that because I think 37. I mean, throwing that kind of money at a 37-year-old who just didn't pitch in some very important games because of arm fatigue, I don't think that's a good sign because he's a power pitcher. But I mean, you guys can do what you can do on that.
Yeah, I kind of want them to go after Verlander right now. You know, he's coming off Tommy John, so you don't have to worry about that. I honestly, I think Tommy John is like right around the corner for Scherzer. Like that's something that's going to happen pretty soon, and we'll be the dumb team to sign him, and that happens to waste all that. They're like,
we can do Verlander for $9 million or Scherzer for 12. Let's do Scherzer because you know what he did okay.
Well, we'll get into like possible like the off season and signings probably in the upcoming weeks, but a name that no one's talking about that is also coming off of TJ and I feel like can be very attractive because he's I think 2 years removed now. Syndergaard. Syndergaard's sitting out there. No one's thinking about him. No one's looking at him. And I'm like, Syndergaard is he's a good low risk but very high reward if he comes back.
He's gonna go to Texas though.
Well, he's got 2 years, right? Like this year coming up, and then the year after. No,
he's
a free agent. This year. Yeah, this year.
Yeah. Oh, they just
he's gonna go to Rangers. He's gonna go to the Rangers. Trevor Story's gonna go to the Rangers. 2 Texas kids back to Texas. Rangers have a lot of money. They want to spend. So that's tailor made for those 2 players right there. The best scenario for Angels is go after Carlos Rendon and Verlander. Get both of those guys, you're set.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for Marcus Stroman for us. That's just what I'm hoping.
I want him too.
So we'll see what happens. I think that bidding war for him is going to be very interesting because to me, with the market, the way it's set up, minus like injuries and stuff, he's the best pitcher available in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
I like what he brings to the game. Like he brings like energy. Like
he has
a lot of these pitchers could pitch, but like you need somebody with an edge.
Right.
And Dodgers fill those roles. Like they have a bunch of people that are like that. The Angels don't really have anybody like that.
So like I said, it'll be interesting to see what he gets because I feel like he'll probably get 5 to 6 years, but it just depends on who wants to throw that money at him. And if I'm the Angels, personally, I would do it because I feel like, again, he's something that you guys desperately need, but we'll see what happens. And with the rest of the league, we'll see what happens. We're not yet into the offseason, but for us 3, we're in the offseason.
Let's go.
We don't care about the World Series right now. Screw it. Who cares? Whoever wins, good job. Me personally, I'm rooting for Dusty just because.
Braves are up 5-0 at the first.
Really? All right. The Braves might take it. If Dusty blows this,
it's over.
It's over for him. It's over for him.
And see, that's what I was thinking. And that I was watching the pregame, and they had a good pregame about Dusty Baker, and I was like, man, he deserves it, but not with Houston.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And Houston's Achilles heel right now, they have no pitching. And the Braves are so hot. Like, you need pitching. The Braves have the pitching and the hitting. This could be a sweep. This could be a sweep. This could be over very quickly. I hope maybe Dusty can turn around somehow, but they don't have any arms. So we'll see. We'll end up seeing what happens. But we want to thank you guys for listening to us. Once again, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/who's on first. Also, leave a 5-star review on iTunes. It'll help us get up the iTunes charts. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Twitter, on First Who on Twitter, and on Instagram, Who's on First. You guys want to get out your plugs?
You can follow me. Go ahead.
Go, Jason.
Follow me on Twitter. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Salinas Jason, and on Instagram at Jason Salinas. That's Salinas with the Z at the end.
And you can find me on Instagram, ShyPlayer, ShyPlyr88. On Instagram, I'm on there all day looking at chicks and all kinds of stuff.
Analytics, tips, everything.
Booty
pics. I'll be double tapping booty pics all day.
Oh, Otani would love you.
Otani's booty pics.
But thanks again for listening, guys. We'll see you guys when we see you. Peace.
Peace.